Oxford Dictionary describes learning as the acquisition of knowledge or skills through study, experience, or being taught. The great Greek philosopher Aristotle said that knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. The ancient Greeks placed high value on education, which was vastly democratized in the 5th century BC, influenced by the thinkers like Plato and Socrates. Fast forward to the 20th century, and we find a great deal of interest and research in the field of education. The highly value-driven humanist theory of learning is associated with psychologist Dr. Carl Rogers and Dr. Abraham Maslow. The humanists emphasize the natural desire of everyone to learn. They maintain that learners need to be empowered and given control over the learning process. So, the teacher withdraws considerable authority and becomes a facilitator. The theory of multiple intelligence is a theory that differentiates intelligence into specific, primarily sensory modalities. Rather than seeing intelligence as dominated by a single general ability, this model was proposed by Dr. Howard Gardner, who articulated 7 criteria for a behavior to be considered an intelligence. When I reflected on my own style of learning, I realized that I was primarily a visual spatial learner. I tend to think in terms of physical space, much like an architect or an artist. I'm always very aware of my surroundings. I like to draw, do jigsaw puzzles, or just daydream. I best learn through drawings and physical imagery. The tools that help a visual learner such as myself include models, graphics, charts, photographs, drawings, 3D modeling, video, television, multimedia, text with pictures, and so on. Over time, in my teaching practices, I found that my approach is influenced and aligned to constructivist and humanist learning theories. Constructivism is a theory of knowledge that argues that humans generate knowledge and meaning from an interaction between their experiences and their ideas. Constructivism was influenced by Dr. Jean Piaget, who saw play as an important and necessary part of the student's cognitive development. Today, constructivist theories are influenced throughout the learning sector. I try to incorporate different modalities into my teaching methods. It is through the reflection and feedback that I know how much my students are learning and developing. Reflection journals that I encourage my students to maintain helps to increase the value of learning experience. It helps them to make meaning out of the process that they are engaged in. Reflection is a mental process of thinking and learning and often used in our everyday life. So what is my understanding of learning for the future? And how can I best develop my teaching for the future? The future will point a way towards a diverse learning model in which learning will adapt to each child, instead of each child trying to adapt to a school. I believe digitization will transform the future of education. Already, digitization has raised questions about the prospect of reading and writing. But I believe that in order to prepare for the future, I will need to rethink my teaching strategies. By 2050, the futurists believe that schools will no longer teach children to read and write, because those skills may well become obsolete. In the future, computers will become more powerful, old books will be removed from library shelves, and will become freely accessible digital editions, causing a digital divide that would in turn directly impact the education sector. To end with a quote from the most influential person of the century, theoretical physicist, philosopher, Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Albert Einstein.
Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand.